Have you ever opened a shopping app late at night, promising yourself that you would just look for a few minutes, but somehow ended up ordering things you never even planned to buy in the first place? Maybe it was a pair of shoes you already had similar versions of, a gadget that looked exciting in the moment, or clothes that felt necessary only because everyone online seemed to have them. And after the excitement faded, you probably looked at your bank balance or your order history and quietly asked yourself one uncomfortable question: why did I even buy this? The strange thing about impulse spending is that most people think it happens because they lack self-control or financial discipline. But the reality is much deeper and much more psychological than most people realize. Impulse spending is not simply about money leaving your wallet. It is about emotions, habits, stress, social pressure, and the way the human brain is naturally wired to seek pleasure and avoid discomfort. And the scary part is that most of these psychological tricks work so well that people often don't even realize they are being influenced. Today, we are going to explore the hidden psychology behind impulse spending and uncover why so many intelligent people still struggle to control unnecessary purchases. We'll talk about emotional shopping, dopamine addiction, marketing manipulation, social media pressure, and the simple habits that can help you regain control over your finances. Because sometimes the biggest threat to your financial future is not low income or expensive bills. Sometimes the biggest threat is emotional decision-making that happens silently inside your own mind. Let's begin by understanding one very important truth about human behavior. Human beings are emotional creatures first and logical creatures second. Most people believe they make rational financial decisions based on need, value, or practicality. But psychologists have discovered that emotions influence purchasing decisions far more than logic does. In simple words, people usually buy based on how something makes them feel rather than how useful it actually is. Think about luxury brands for a moment. People don't spend thousands of dollars on luxury watches simply because they need to know the time. They buy those products because the products make them feel successful, respected, powerful, or admired by others. Many people even buy unnecessary items during moments of stress, sadness, boredom, loneliness, or frustration. This is why emotional spending is often called retail therapy. Shopping temporarily creates comfort and distraction from emotional pain. When someone feels unhappy or mentally exhausted, buying something new can create a short burst of excitement that feels rewarding. Scientists explain this using a chemical in the brain called dopamine. Dopamine is often known as the feel-good chemical because it is connected to pleasure, reward, and motivation. Every time people anticipate buying something exciting, the brain releases dopamine and creates feelings of happiness and satisfaction. Interestingly, the excitement often happens before the purchase even arrives. This is why people sometimes feel more excitement while placing the order than when they actually receive the product later. The brain becomes addicted not only to owning things but also to the anticipation of getting them. This is exactly why online shopping can become dangerously addictive for many people. Shopping apps are specifically designed to make spending feel easy, fast, and emotionally satisfying. But the happiness created by impulse purchases usually fades very quickly. After a short period of excitement, people return to their normal emotional state again. Then they begin searching for another purchase to recreate the same temporary feeling of pleasure. This creates a cycle that repeats over and over again. Buy something, feel excited, lose interest, feel empty, buy again. And over time, this habit can slowly damage financial stability without people fully realizing what is happening. Now, here's where things become even more interesting and a little disturbing. Large companies and marketers understand this psychology extremely well. In fact, modern marketing is built around influencing emotions rather than simply selling products. Have you ever noticed phrases like limited time offer, sale ending soon, or only 2 items left in stock? Those phrases are not random marketing lines. They are psychological strategies designed to create urgency and fear inside the brain. Psychologists call this scarcity psychology. When people believe something may disappear soon, their brain automatically assigns more value to it. Suddenly, the product feels more important, more desirable, and more difficult to ignore. Even people who never planned to buy the item suddenly feel pressure to act quickly before they miss the opportunity. This fear of missing out is commonly known as FOMO, and businesses use FOMO everywhere because it works extremely well on human psychology. Brands also use colors strategically to influence emotions and behavior. Red often creates urgency and excitement, which is why many clearance sales use bright red signs. Blue creates feelings of trust and safety, which is why banks and technology companies often use blue logos. Black is associated with luxury, power, and sophistication, which is why many premium products use dark, elegant designs. Even the layout of shopping malls is carefully planned using psychology. Essential products like milk, bread, or groceries are usually placed deep inside stores, so customers must walk past many tempting products before reaching what they originally needed. The longer people stay inside a shopping environment, the more likely they are to buy impulsively. Online shopping platforms take this psychological manipulation to an even more advanced level. Algorithms track what people search, what they click on, how long they look at products, and even what they leave inside their carts. Then apps begin showing highly personalized recommendations designed specifically to tempt each individual user. In other words, technology is constantly learning how to sell more effectively to your emotions. Social media has made impulse spending even more powerful than ever before. Every day, millions of people scroll through images and videos showing luxury lifestyles, expensive vacations, designer clothes, perfect homes, and the latest gadgets. Influencers often make these lifestyles look normal and achievable, even when much of it is sponsored advertising. Slowly, people begin comparing their own lives with the lives they see online, and comparison creates emotional pressure. Many individuals start buying products not because they truly need them, but because they want to feel accepted, admired, or socially successful. This constant desire to keep up with others creates a dangerous cycle called lifestyle inflation. As income increases, spending increases too. Instead of building savings or financial security, people upgrade phones, clothes, cars, and lifestyles simply to maintain appearances. Unfortunately, expensive lifestyles do not always create long-term happiness. Research has shown that material possessions provide temporary satisfaction, but the emotional effect fades surprisingly quickly. Yet many people continue chasing happiness through shopping because buying things provides instant emotional comfort. Some people eat emotionally during stressful times, others spend emotionally. After a difficult day, impulse purchases can feel like a reward or an escape from mental pressure. But eventually, reality returns in the form of debt, empty savings accounts, and financial anxiety. Credit card bills begin growing silently month after month. Small, unnecessary purchases slowly turn into major financial problems over time. And many people don't realize how much emotional spending affects their future until they experience serious financial stress later in life. So the important question becomes, how can people break free from impulse spending habits? The first and most powerful step is awareness. The next time you suddenly feel the urge to buy something, stop for a moment and ask yourself one simple question. Am I buying this because I truly need it, or because I want temporary emotional satisfaction? That small pause can completely change your financial behavior over time. Another highly effective strategy is something called the 24-hour rule. Instead of buying unnecessary items immediately, wait at least 24 hours before making the purchase. In many situations, the emotional excitement disappears naturally after some time passes. People often realize they never truly needed the product at all. Budgeting and tracking expenses also help strengthen financial awareness because people become more conscious about where their money is actually going every month. Reducing unnecessary social media exposure can also improve spending habits because less comparison often leads to fewer emotional purchases. Most importantly, people must learn that real happiness and self-worth cannot permanently come from material possessions. Because true financial freedom is not about buying everything you desire the moment you desire it.